Welcome back, everybody, to Brutally Honest Reviews, only on the Brutally Honest Network. Today, we're reviewing Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. And what this is it's the first in-theaters animated Spider-Man movie, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct, yeah.
So, talk a little bit about, I want to hear someone who knows about what this movie is in terms of, like, who's read the comics, who understands what is going on in the Spider-Man universe in general. Does anyone know?
Well, I haven't been too familiar with the central character. I'm mostly familiar with Peter Parker, like most of the world. But I've seen, I'm familiar. I know of the character Miles Morales, who's the central character in the story.
Yeah.
It's basically about him. I know that he takes over being Spider-Man after Peter Parker is no longer done.
Yeah.
And they start introducing like all these other versions of Spider-Man that they've been introducing in the comics, such as Spider-Gwen and. On the old some old alternate black and white Spider-Man, and then they had that Spider-Pig. I'm not sure if that was in reference to the Simpsons movie that Homer made.
Probably.
But yeah, they're just like introducing like these other universes as coming together, which I've seen in like, I don't know if you've ever watched the Flash show on CW where they did something similar to that.
No. I'm pretty. Is Flash DC?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty DC checked out. I don't do DC.
DC shit.
I don't know.
Said it.
Spider-Man is Marvel, though.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, this was made in tandem with Marvel.
So nobody knows if what happens in this movie is actually comic. It is comic based.
Well, they're all comic based.
I'm just curious if anybody knew.
But is Into the Spider-Verse a comic?
It itself is not, like, this isn't page for page a comic.
No. Okay. I mean,
But
I know all the characters are true.
Yeah,
too.
there is a Spider-Verse.
There's definitely a Gwen Stacy. There's definitely
Spider-Man,
There's a multiverse in Marvel.
yeah.
So this is
So
essentially.
All these characters are
They do.
exist.
They run their own comic books concurrently.
Okay.
Yes.
Confusing. But anyway.
Yeah, comic books
That's
are
kind of-
very confusing.
That's kind of the point.
Let's
I
talk
think.
about it, I guess. So, for people who don't know, which is probably most people who go to see Spider-Man, I mean, there's probably not a great percentage of people who are die-hard Spider-Man fans that have read everything in the comics. And for example, like all of us like Spider-Man movies, but like we don't know the origin in the comics.
Some of us might.
I stopped reading the comics when I was like 12.
Yeah.
I mostly watched that animated series on Fox.
Yeah.
During the 90s.
Yeah, I just did X-Men. That's it. But yeah, I guess what happens in this movie is we get this weird event which ends up having all of these different iterations of Spider-Man basically, I don't know, traveling or collapsing into this one universe.
Oh, okay. So
That's because the Kingpin holds Peter Parker in that, I don't know what is it, like an atom collider?
Super Collider.
Super
Some
collider.
huge device.
It's just called the Super
And
Collider.
because he put Spider-Man in that, all the Spider-Men, Spider-People, Spider-Pigs.
Maybe I'll just come
Hold
about
on,
from this.
guys. So literally why this is happening is because Kingpin is trying to create an interdimensional pull so he can get his family back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Why? I know we know that.
But
we've
that's
not
why.
explained that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But that's why Spider-Man comes through the multiverse.
That's why all the Spider-Mans
Yeah.
come through the multiverse. Well, it's not
Because
amazingly
he
explained.
actually pushes them in it.
Accidentally or
Accidentally, he
Yeah.
probably did that. I mean, I doubt he was trying to create more of a problem for himself.
a little interesting. I don't want to try to disprove a comic book right now because we just disproved Mortal Engines entirely. But Spider-Man, I mean, I guess all of them could simultaneously travel through the multiverse.
If there was an opening, yeah.
Yeah, all simultaneously though, which is a little weird.
Well, there's infinite Spider-Man, according to
That's the
it's
logic.
Yes.
Is that there's
Oh,
infinite.
that's a good- okay,
You
so
only
that's a good
meet
point.
like
Yeah.
5.
Exactly.
So why is Spider-Man the only thing that came through the multiverse?
Because
Because it
Kingpin
was him who was
held
like
him
got
in a-
caught in the interdimensional field, basically.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So
okay. So I said that
Yeah.
caused his being in all these different parallel universes to be caught in it.
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
So some came through, some didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right. So this movie is basically a smashing up of everything Spider-Man that someone could like, and then even if there was something you didn't like about Spider-Man, you had like 4 other Spider-Man to like. So I feel like everybody who watched this did get a little bit of something if they were kind of annoyed by it, because Spider-Man can be kind of annoying sometimes. But like, I feel like this movie gave you a little bit of everything, and it kept it pretty entertaining, and without trying to make these cliches of these different characters too strong. For example, like they didn't make the black and white character too noir-esque, which is kind of like how he was acting. Like they didn't go too far. I felt like they could have thrown it in your face that there's a spider pig, and made a reference to The Simpsons, but they didn't do that. They kind of just left it there.
They picked the perfect voice though for Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage was perfect.
Oh, there's Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you weren't. I don't know if you were saying next to Robbie. He's just like, Nicolas fucking Cage.
No, I didn't.
And I'm just like, oh, I guess that is him. But I was just way more team John Mulaney as Peter Porker.
Yeah,
he was
I know
great.
you
That
really
warmed my
like that
soul.
one.
I need to get the DVD or Blu-ray for this when it comes out, because apparently they just had Nicolas Cage saying a whole bunch of pornographic shit when stuff was happening.
Really?
Yeah, and they didn't tell me. It would be like jumping titties, things like that. They just had him record all different types of reactions, but like lewd comments.
So you think they're gonna put like a track in there,
I really hope they release
like
it,
a Cage
because
track?
that would be amazing to listen to. I would listen to that on loop for
You
hours.
listen to that as like your like therapy.
Yeah,
You just have that
Like, you know
on
how
full
people
volume.
listen-
Cage's voice.
like how some
Nice.
people listen to whale noises when they go to sleep. I'll just listen to Nicolas
Who
Cage.
does that?
It's relaxing,
Yeah,
soothing
people listen to
sounds.
crickets or.
So-
So
They listen to the sounds of the ocean.
To murderers?
I bet some people do. Huh.
That sounds like
Messed up
murderer
people out there,
shit.
yeah.
There are people that need white noise to sleep.
Yeah, white noise, not fucking whales. That's a
People
specific
consider that white
sound.
noise.
Sounds of the ocean.
Sounds of
When you
murderers?
say white noise,
Sure.
I'm not gonna go there.
Sounds real southern, Evan.
So, Catherine Hahn as Olivia Octavius. Oh, interesting.
She was the Dr. Puss Puss.
Interesting.
I don't know what to call her. She was like fucking awful bitch.
I don't know.
Just evil,
Liev
that's all.
Schreiber was Kingpin.
That's the one I didn't pick out.
Yeah, that's
Liev
interesting.
Schreiber.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really an all-star cast though.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's a
I didn't
good
even know
cast.
Zoe Kravitz was in it.
Who's that?
Because
Mary
Mary
Jane.
Jane
Zoe
barely.
Kravitz? Lenny Kravitz's
Oh,
daughter?
Mad Max. Fury
That was
Road.
my guess, but
Mary Jane.
He doesn't
barely
like Mad
talked.
Max.
Oh, really?
We found
I
that
don't
out.
hate Mad Max. I just think it's a little.
We went on a tangent
Wow,
about it
that's
last episode.
It's a little plotless. But I don't know.
I
It is
mean,
plotless.
It's no Beyond Thunder. though.
Mahershala Ali as
Yes.
Prowler.
Yeah, I picked
Hayleigh
that out.
Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah.
Chris Pine as Spider-Man.
Jake Johnson.
Well, they're two. He was the
Wow.
first Spider-Man, and then Jake Johnson was the second one.
Wow.
It's an all-star voice acting cast.
The cast alone made me want to see this so bad.
So in this, I love how I love the. I know it's stupid and nobody's gonna get this, but like the irony that Mahershala Ali as Aaron Davis and Prowler is Miles' uncle who moonlights. Get it?
Got it.
He was in Moonlight.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh, maybe that's why it was written that way.
It's fucking corny.
No, that's how you would write it though. That's how like when you write about a detective, that's how they moonlight. That's the term. Interesting.
That's fair, yeah.
But anyway, so this movie basically throws all these Spider-Man into this multiverse with the lead character, Miles
Miles. Morales,
Yep,
yeah.
Miles
Yeah.
Morales.
The new
is-
Spider-Man.
New Spides Bites.
He's bit by a spider while graffiti tagging, just I don't know, art with his uncle. He doesn't have a good relationship with his dad, mainly because his dad loves him so much, but it's like the same. It's like the fatherly love that a kid at 16 doesn't want. So he's a little embarrassing to him. So he kind of tries to avoid him. They don't understand each other. So he hangs out with his uncle. Uncle lets him graffiti tag. They're doing that. He gets bit by the spider. Nothing comes of it. The next day, he's stronger. He's freaking out.
Well, we're doing this.
He's
stuck
sticking to
He's
shit.
stuck to Gwen Stacy, who we didn't know was Gwen
Oh, that's the
Stacy,
first thing.
Kind of like rips her hair off a little bit.
which I thought was fucking hilarious. When he's like, I like your haircut, and she's like, you do not get to talk about my fucking haircut right now. You just
Then he
do not get to.
sticks to her.
Yeah, it was amazing. That was
It
funny.
would have been way more awkward if we didn't find out later that Gwen Stacy was also another Spider-Woman, so it wasn't creepy.
Well, I know the name Gwen Stacy was a Spider-Woman, and when she was like, my name's Gwenwena or something like that.
Well, it's because
or
she's
something
all,
like
Gwen Stacy's also in this universe, but
Right.
in other universe, she is Spider-Gwen. And
So that
that's
was-
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Gwen.
So that was her knowing
Yeah.
she was
True.
supposed to give up her identity.
Yeah, that's why she was giving him hints of how to help it,
Yeah.
because she knew. Yeah.
I didn't think I pitted her when she entered the scene as Spider-Woman, though. I knew she was gonna be Gwen Stacy. I just didn't know she was Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
didn't know any of this stuff,
I'm gonna
so.
save all of you. A few times.
So we meet all these characters. Kingpin is so the entire plot of this hinges on Kingpin trying to get his family back by opening the multiverse.
Doesn't deserve.
Right.
Nope.
Fat fuck.
And then we meet all of these other villains are like all intertwined into the same Spider-Verse movie. I don't know what you want to call
I
it.
think there's only two villains.
Yeah, just
Stones in it.
Kingpin.
No, yeah, you're right.
Well,
No,
there's
there was a lot.
Kingpin and Octopus are the main ones.
Kingpin, Octopus,
Then,
Tombstone, Scorpions in it,
Prowler.
Prowler. I think that's it.
It's quite a few.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But they're only really there for the fight scene, so it doesn't really like convolute things. It doesn't
Except for
seem too crowded.
Prowler, he's got him like having a change of heart of everything.
Prowler is the consistent one that's always chasing them, and then the other ones are kind of just incidental.
Aaron Davis is also in the MCU, played by Donald Glover.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like crossed over.
Yeah, they use his character. He's not the Prowler yet, but he also references his nephew Miles in the Spider-Man movie.
Huh. Interesting.
So
They
there's
really
a-
like to push those crossovers.
Yeah.
Or they just let DC die.
They've already destroyed DC.
Well, DC is what? DC is like not Spider-Man. DC is
all
Batman,
Batman,
Superman, Flash.
I've heard
Aquaman.
Aquaman's getting
It's
okay
the Justice
reviews,
League.
So I mean,
I saw
They
Aquaman.
could still-
Aquaman has to be a garbage fire.
Nope,
Fuck you, Rob.
saw it.
hey, I
don't
want
care
to
what
see.
you said.
I want to see it.
I'm gonna see it.
It's about a fucking fish man, alright? It's not a compelling story.
Hey, Fishman can be compelling.
That's
When you think about it that way, it's still not a very compelling story. It just looks really cool.
yeah. Well, so did Lord of the Rings.
And it was.
I digress.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Fuck
Those are
Lord
fighting words
of
right there.
the-
So
and Game of Thrones.
I'm gonna poison you.
let's talk
I'm
about
kind of hoping for it at this
Are you
point.
gonna like stick something in a beer?
let's talk about these. Let's talk about how like when we go back and forth between Miles and his dad and his uncle and the real world and then the Spider-Man universe. How do you guys think they did? Like, I thought they did a really good job of going in between these different worlds and keeping everything seamless and not stepping on you know what I mean? Like, they didn't step on the real world too much with the Spider-Man thing. They didn't step on the superhero world with the real world thing too much. Like, I thought it was balanced. Like, they kept both separate.
Both storylines you're saying separate.
Yeah, like they didn't
Yeah.
muddy it up. They didn't like reveal to the dad or the uncle that he's Spider-Man now or anything. Like, they played it out to the end.
Until it was
faithful.
necessary.
Right, but they never knew for a fact that he was Spider-Man now. They never knew. It was always just he just left subtle inclinations throughout the whole movie up until the end. So it's like we got to continue to play off and see that bond grow between Miles and his father. But it was really like it was this whole transformation that Miles went through in the course of the movie. He started out just not understanding his father completely, then seeing his father from like a third-person view because he was Spider-Man and his father couldn't see him and understand him. So he was understanding that his father actually really loved him and was just doing his best to try to take care of him and try to be his friend. And in the end, obviously, we see him kind of put on like his fake man voice.
Yeah.
Try to pretend like he's Spider-Man because he's trying to bond with his dad in a way at the end.
Yeah, and
he
his
doesn't
dad
know how to talk to him.
originally his dad hates Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But he ends up liking Spider-Man without even knowing that the new Spider-Man is his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would have opened up more, but also Spider-Pig made it all worth it, so it doesn't matter.
I love Spider-Pig.
I remember... No, sorry. Yeah, so this movie flowed. We'll get to Spider-Ham soon. I could talk for 45 minutes of Spider-Ham, and I won't, but I could. Yeah, no, this movie is definitely... Its pacing was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't feel long at all.
It didn't... Yeah, it definitely didn't feel as long as it was. Every character was great.
Yeah, the writing in this movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole animation style too just worked with it. I don't even know
And
why,
I didn't
but
think
it's just
I didn't think I was gonna like that animation style going in, but I think it was better that we actually saw it in 3D.
Oh, weird that you bring that up. I thought the animation was going to be more reserved than it was, because what it ended up being was very comic booky.
Yeah,
Where like pow and wham and script from the comic book was on the film, and it was done in a way that was
tasteful.
Yeah, it was tasteful.
It was clever. Like you'd have him run down the street and you'd see like the dialogue pop up and it would vanish into the like you pass it and it would vanish into the distance. So like it would blend 2D with the 3D world. So it's actually very cool.
I think this movie it was meant to be seen in 3D. I think.
Yeah,
like all the little subtle things like that.
That's why I had to tell Taylor that, like, look, I'm gonna go see it in 3D. Like, it's gonna be better. It's animated. It's made to be 3D. Like, it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
It's not that 2D version wasn't gonna be good enough, but like 3D in this was really cool.
I didn't get those like headaches from this in 3D because very clearly it was rendered.
If a movie is meant to be in 3D, it doesn't give me the headaches. But if it's a shitty movie where they just like, all right, let's throw it a 3D version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. I know.
Like if it's shot in a 3D camera, it looks a lot better.
Just to like go off topic, I know like last year, like T2 won the theaters in 3D, and I saw it because it's my favorite movie. But I remember saying to myself, this 3D is nothing special about this at all, because this movie was shot in 1991. It was not shot because it was not meant to be in 3D.
Yeah.
Fucking James Cameron.
Although I didn't.
It was weird. He was actually praising the 3D. I'm like,
James Cameron's a fucking asshole.
I didn't mind.
You can go to the deepest depths of my asshole with his Avatar.
I guess Jurassic Park had more depth of field, which allowed better.
If they make another Avatar,
I'm making 4.
If they make 4 Avatars,
no, they're already making them.
No,
they're
fucking
being shot
delete him
concurrently.
Delete him from the
fucking stupid blue assholes.
Dude, the first Avatar was so fucking long.
The Disney Animal Kingdom in Disney World, they made the Avatar World or whatever it's called.
Why?
It looks really cool. The rides are dumb, but like the just the way everything looks is really cool.
That movie grossed so much money.
Yeah,
most of all
so
time.
much money.
It was dog shit.
I still
Didn't
haven't
Avengers
seen
beat
Avatar
it?
to this day.
I thought Avengers beat it.
No.
Anybody should
Not
beat
even
it.
close. That movie made almost $3 billion.
Mile 22 should beat it.
Yeah.
Mile 22.
Listen, I'm kidding. I just really fucking hate
not.
Avatar.
Can't even.
Is it okay if I say I love Avatar?
No.
Yeah, you need to die alone tonight. Like,
wow, I can't believe you had
You've seen
Avatar
it?
that much.
Avatar?
Dude.
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I watched it twice somehow.
Evan, if
Why?
you
Why
haven't
would you
seen
watch
it,
twice
don't
if you don't
watch
like
it.
Because I'm single now.
No, I have to see it because like
No, I don't know.
That's not a good enough reason.
I do talk so much shit about it, but it's not because of the movie itself. It's because I don't like the way James Cameron takes press conferences.
I feel like you're gonna like it now because you've said you hated it so much, and you're like, "Wow, it wasn't that bad."
Maybe.
It's terrible.
I'll probably, to be honest, I probably won't think it's that bad. But like,
Have you seen Fern Gully?
no.
Have you seen Pocahontas?
Yes.
Have you seen Dancer with Wolves?
No.
Where is this going?
Then you've
Yeah,
seen
where's-
It's a
Avatar.
copy of pretty much all of
Oh,
them.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
you've seen if you've seen any of those movies, you've seen fucking Avatar.
He's kind of right. Yeah, if you watch them all concurrently back to back.
It's fucking Fern Gully.
Lies.
It's 100% Fern Gully.
I'm gonna give
There's
it.
even giant tractors that destroy the land. The only thing cool is that it has that blind guy from Don't Breathe in it. Everything else about this movie can go suck a giant fat sack of shit.
By the
Avatar
way,
means.
speaking of movies I haven't seen, I did see John Wick last night, and I didn't think it was that great. I don't think it holds a candle to the
Well,
Raid.
that's fine. That's okay.
That's what I meant. That's
Okay.
what I meant.
If you're gonna say you didn't like it,
Okay, we'll tirade real
It's
quick.
okay.
After seeing the Raid, I could definitely understand why you'd be like, John Wick's just kind of, it's a thing.
the Raid's a different type of
It's
action.
different.
I think that's
Yeah.
still the best action
Do you think
movie.
he has
of
to
it.
watch 2 to also maybe appreciate 1 more? No.
No.
I think 2 is better than 1.
One's terrible. Plot-wise. Plot-wise, terrible. Action-wise, comedy.
That
like,
movie's
slight
not exactly
comedy-wise.
fun or a good movie because of its plot.
It's not meant to,
It's the action.
the plot is you killed my dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking murder your whole family. There's a level of undertone sarcasm, like humor there, just because he goes on a murder spree because of a dog.
I didn't find it that's funny that it was
He goes
that it
more
was
into that. He
ironic.
goes, "Your son, he killed that dog was more my wife, and your son
Oh, no.
killed that for me."
Yeah, I know the dog had a lot more sentimental value than that. But at a base level, it's like, you killed my dog and stole my car, and I killed everyone you ever loved.
But the whole reason you think that's funny is because it's so ridiculous that he would go to such lengths because of just a dog, right?
Really? Because Tom Segura would kill someone for fucking up his coffee at Starbucks.
Well, this is not even where I'm going with this.
That's not false.
Am I right though? Like the whole reason why you enjoy
It's ludicrous. It's a ludicrous plot.
ridiculous.
But
The
the
plot's ridiculous.
I didn't think it was ridiculous enough for me to enjoy it. I thought that you guys built it up so much that I was expecting so much more, and it was kind of just like one beaten horse of a joke. The whole
that
movie.
may be why you didn't like it.
The action was good.
Because
but,
when I
like,
went into
it's
the
when compared
theater
to
to
the Raid.
when I went into the theater to go see it, I was like, it's a Keanu Reeves movie. It's gonna be a sack of shit. And it was great. But
Yeah.
when you stack up the action of any other movie to the Raid, it's gonna fall short. I feel.
Right. That's
not
that's
unfair.
the crime here. You committed a crime, sir.
That's not unfair. I didn't think. I thought the Raid wasn't going to hold a candle to John Wick.
I never said John Wick was better than the Raid.
That's fair.
The
You
Raid's,
did not say
The
that.
Raid's my favorite action movie since, well, it might be my favorite action movie. I think it is.
Listen, I just want John Wick 3.
It's coming.
Hell
Okay,
yeah,
so-
That's all I
definitely.
want.
dude.
Spider-Man.
Let's come back to Spider-Man. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
whoops.
drifting down the path. So
Wanting John Wick 3.
this movie, we clash between all these different villains like a million times throughout the movie, and then we finally get to the end where Kingpin is basically the last person standing. Spider-Man. All the Spider-Men are gone, right? Because they got back to the multiverse.
One Spider-Man has to stay, but they thought Miles wasn't ready to be the one to stay to shut everything down and stop Kingpin.
Yeah.
But then he discovers how to control his powers, meets
Right.
them all there, and then makes them all go back to their universes. Because if they stay in this universe, they're going to slowly die, and then eventually all their atoms and shit within them are going to implode on themselves.
Right, like in Moon when he's decomposing in a similar fashion. But anyway,
Penny Parker's existence annoyed the fuck out of me. Like that there was a Spider-Man that was solely based upon like an R2-D2 bot.
alternate universe.
Yeah, I know. They're just fucking stupid.
That was the
Isn't
only
that-
version of
I didn't
Spider-
hate it. I
Is
just
there-
mean it
is there
was.
a real Spider-Man like that in Japanese culture?
I don't watch
No, I doubt
Japan.
it strongly. That's
I don't.
But the whole point
I
was
don't get
that
that
like
far
if
into
in
it.
another culture that if you were to go to any one alternate universe out of like millions and billions and billions from China and Japan, one of them is going to be some kind of a robot.
no. I
controlled-
understand. I say
That's
that.
just what they like.
I say that in the same tone as if Spider-Ham wasn't a fucking strange thing where he pulls an extra large hammer out of his ass
So good.
and Bugs Bunny's half the goddamn cast. That was hilarious. Rob's like, where did he literally just pull that out of his ass?
Mm-hmm.
And then he hands it to Miles at the end, like, I have a gift for you. And Miles like, where the fuck am I gonna put this?
And then he said, "It will fit in your pocket."
Yeah,
Spider-Ham was fantastic.
yeah.
Nobody better than John Mulaney to play that.
So, at the end, all the other Spider-Men, they go back to the Spider-Verse to be safe. Miles is left to battle Kingpin all by himself. He inevitably does beat him. There's a couple times where like I kind of felt bad for Kingpin. I'm not gonna lie, because like it kind of was sad. Like
He did that to his family, though.
Yeah, but like he didn't knowingly do that to his family.
Bullshit. He was a scumbag. Fucktard.
He's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Piece
He's
of
a piece
shit.
of shit, but it was still sad.
His shoulders don't even fit through an airplane. He deserved that.
I know, but like even though like he's so evil, all he wanted was to be back with his family. So it's
Yeah,
still,
but then you realize the shit that he's done. You're like, fuck this guy.
yeah.
He's
His
like,
family doesn't deserve death.
he's like
I
a
don't know
white
what he's
fat
done.
Pablo Escobar.
I didn't realize how ridiculous of a villain he was either.
Oh my god, he was his
Yeah,
shape.
It's crazy.
Like a
His
freaking
fucking
giant-
shape.
It's freaking blimp or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. But so yeah, inevitably the day is saved, and Miles is like slightly reunited with his father as Spider-Man. Tries to play it off that he's a deep man voice guy.
Love
whatever.
you, dude. Yeah.
Sorry.
Love you.
So we see that at the end, and I guess do we see a sequel? Like, are we gonna see a sequel inside?
I hope
this, or-
so.
It could be definitely.
Oh, that's real gray because the
Well, you wouldn't need to make all the Spider-Man come back.
I mean,
they
I
could
kinda,
do one with
personally, I
Miles.
just see this thing as a one and done kind of
listen. I want a short.
story.
I want a short of Nicolas Cage as a Spider-Man noir
Well, they
Yes,
are.
that would
they
be
are
amazing.
doing
and a Spider
the
Ham.
Disney streaming service, and they're going to
Make it
be
happen.
doing Disney originals. They could do a 30-minute TV show with nothing but Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man.
They could do 8 years of fucking Spider Ham, and I'd be stoked.
Just have him read old Spider-Man comic books. I'd
I'm
listen to that
interested
too.
to
No, I think
see.
you can do anything with Nicolas Cage and it'd be amazing.
No.
I'm interested to see
Oh, Nicolas
what
Cage?
content.
Yes, definitely.
I'm interested to see the
He was
content
in The
they put
Rock.
out.
The Rock is awesome.
The Rock. Okay. Anyway,
It's in National Treasure, which is a fucking horrible movie.
I love the National
I thought you were gonna
Treasure,
say it was
dude.
great.
That guy's got Nicolas
gotta
Cage has
go.
lost so much range, man.
I still have to see Mandy. It's on Shudder, and it's just been sitting there for the past couple days.
As
I've
it
just been
should.
too high to watch it.
No, that's
To be
when you want to
completely
watch
honest.
it. That's not a movie you want to watch with you being able to think
no, but
about
Evan
how.
Too High is
wanna-
nap
About-
time, Evan.
I
That's-
have to
that's
take that
perfect.
movie apart. I've been waiting for it too long. I really have to. People have been calling
I feel
it.
like I've seen
People have
Mandy.
been calling it everything from fantastic to bizarre. So like I have to see it and like sober and actually watch it.
That was pure Cage.
Yeah. You gotta do the like if it's a really like talked about movie, like you gotta do like the sober watch and then the high watch. Like it's almost like I'm not even gonna go there. So do you? So I don't see. We're talking about the sequel a little bit. I don't really see. I don't think there's gonna be a sequel to this.
They can
I
do
think
something with Miles.
They could.
It could be its own universe.
Continue.
Or
it.
will they? They might. For
If
some
it-
reason
gonna make its money
brought in.
back.
If it makes
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
money, it will.
It's a lot closer than Mortal Engines.
Well, yeah. That was embarrassing.
Fuck.
You weren't on that review, were you?
Me?
Well, that was 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, you were on that review.
Yeah, I was, but I kind of wish he was.
Yeah, you should have just sat in.
I wasn't. I could have, but fuck that movie.
I mean, there really wasn't another angle to hit. We definitely hit all the angles.
There was
of
no
why
angle to
why
hit.
it sucked. That's what I meant. But anyway, Spider-Man. Final thoughts and number grade, starting with Rob.
Don't make that sound to me. I'm not a puppy. I may go as far as to say this was my favorite Spider-Man movie. Yeah. This is really
Like
good.
out of
Out of-
everything?
Yeah, out of Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 4, and Homecoming. And this one, this may have been my
Fuck,
favorite
you might
one.
be right.
This was
He is right.
This was a really good movie,
Homecoming was my favorite Spider-Man ever.
and I think this was my second favorite comic book movie of the year. It's a definitely a movie you
Yeah.
should go see if you can see it in 3D. See it in 3D. But I'm probably gonna give this movie like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10.
What's your favorite comic movie this year?
Oh, Infinity War.
Yeah.
Hell
How
yeah.
can it not be?
That's unfairly accurate.
I'm too invested in that whole thing for that one not to be.
Yeah, that movie kind of turned me over to
I've-
to Marvel.
I've been going at this since Iron Man came out.
Yeah.
which is the first one in the MCU.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty invested in it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting 10 years, 20 movies for that.
Yeah, dude, I remember like before Infinity War came out, like every week I was just watching. I was just doing every week I was watching. 1 week I was watching Iron Man. I was just going through the whole universe. Up to like I remember like the day Infinity War came out, I basically got up to Black Panther. Saw it that morning and then got to see Infinity War that night. So
I think I only got time to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, which is like nothing. Like it's like not even like 2% of the Marvel universe in that movie.
All I had left
that's a completely different feel movie too.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
All I had left this week was not this week, but this for the MCU universe was Ant-Man versus the Wasp, or Ant-Man and the Wasp,
I have.
and Black Panther. I still haven't seen Black Panther, but I watched Ant-Man the other day.
Ant-Man.
Oh, that ending. Oh,
I know.
I haven't seen it.
Ant-Man, fuck it, I'm ruining for you a little bit.
Yeah, don't say nothing, but...
No, I'm ruining a little bit. He
No, don't
I'm gonna
don't
forget
say
it anyway. So
yeah, you
either
will
if you
forget.
do or you're done, it's the same result.
Yeah, I own it. He's still not gonna watch it. It's just the Thanos poof happens in it, and you're just like, how does he get out of quantum space? I have questions.
There'll be answers.
Who's
You gotta
gonna-
see
where
the
does-
Avengers movie? Duh.
Yeah, right. If I read the comics, I'd know these answers.
It's slightly different, but...
Well, yeah. But,
What'd you think about Spider-Man?
oh, me?
Yeah, you're next.
Who's a good boy?
Turn it sideways. Gonna shine it up real
He was
nice.
a good boy. But give me the fucking remote.
Stick it up your ass.
I better watch that remote.
Now there's too much pressure. This is definitely one of my favorite comic book movies of a very long time. Its pacing was amazing. The humor was amazing. All the characters were amazing. The cast, everything was just great. Easily can tell everyone to watch this movie. I want to give it a 10, but that feels disingenuous, so like a 9. I want to reserve my 10 for like...
Harold and Kumar 4.
Yeah, I honestly need another White Castle joke in my life.
So I'm gonna lead with my number grade because I give it an 8.5. Great movie. Don't get me wrong. I think a little bit of it was like there was a maturity level in the movie where it's like I've seen everything happen in terms of like the character development before. I wasn't super blown away by like how fresh and new it was, but at the same time, it's like this movie kept me going for 2 hours. Everything was interesting. Everything was exciting. All the characters they brought to the universe were brand new and also justified. They were random, but like they justified it. It's a multiverse. You know, all these different Spider-Mans. They led with that in the trailer. So they kind of set themselves up for success in a way that it really couldn't been compared too much to a comic book. So I think in that way, like it gained a lot of different positive reviews. People who read the comic books liked it. People who didn't read the comic books liked it. Apparently, I didn't know who all of them were, but all the voice actors, loaded cast. I think they did a real solid job of writing. Everything was paced well. The animation, especially the 3D, was actually quite good. They did something new, which is like a little bit different than I've seen before. Is like kind of like a halftone looking 3D, kind of like it was like not quite so in your face. That's why I think nobody got a headache, and it was pretty easy to digest. It was just like hyper realized. It like everything looked more real than it actually was. Like even more than like am I making any sense? Like
You're using the word real.
They took a lot of time
For real.
to make sure that the
Shizzle.
characters, the actions, that any actions they did looked really authentic. All of the skin tones, particularly, which never really looked good in animation.
Oh, okay.
looked really,
I think I see what you mean.
it
The
was-
movie was definitely filmed in like a better frame rate for what it was when it was in 3D. So when characters moved, it didn't give you that motion sickness?
They say on frame rate, though.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm using that loosely. I mean, like, frame rate, like, sometimes if you see something that's shot kind of too slow in 3D, you'll get that feeling of motion sickness because they're moving too fast, and all you just see is the 75 frame, like,
Yeah, that's
you
when
just
it's
see
not
it
shot
skip.
for a 3D camera. They
That's
just
where you're, yeah.
Yeah, what I
format
mean
it
is,
to
like,
be
it
in
just,
3D.
I feel like, yeah, most
Post-production 3D.
Yeah.
3D movies, I'm like, I want to throw up. Every
Yeah.
time something moves, I'm just like, this is disgusting.
Yeah, that's post-production 3D. That's because they shot the film in a frame rate for 2D, and then they went into post.
Yeah.
That is frame rate. So this, we don't have to deal with frame rate. Well, we do have to deal with frame rate because they do have to set a frame rate, but we don't really have to deal with the
It was
issues of
animated
frame
to
rate.
that, though. Yeah, so when the characters move, it just feels... I went off a weird tangent.
Well, no. I understand what you're saying. It's like when you do go to a 3D movie that is in 3D but was shot in 2D, you're gonna get that weird motion blur because the frame rate that it was shot in doesn't have enough data to really go the mile for 3D. So like when you're seeing these images go across the screen, you're missing frames, and it's giving you a headache.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Back to my review. So yeah, 8.5.
I don't know how we got here.
I would say definitely see it. It's very entertaining.
100%.
But in terms of like, no, go see it. It's fine.
You have no reason not to.
But yeah, I gave it an 8.5.
What's up, Arun?
Yeah, I definitely, I loved it. I definitely would say, of all the time we've seen Spider-Man on the movies, I would say this is definitely the best one. I would definitely give it a 9.5. I definitely go on the points that you guys went on to. Definitely has great pacing. I mean, all the good parts were there. You know, they had it was really funny, and the comedy worked with it. It had a lot of good, heartfelt scenes as well. And it definitely what was awesome about it was that because a lot of people they know Peter Parker and they don't, but we really don't know Miles Morales as well. And I felt like they really had a great way of just introducing him and getting the audience to be familiar with his character. My only real criticism was, no disrespect to Liev Shriber, I think he's awesome, but I don't think he was a good voice for Kingpin. I felt with the Kingpin, you need someone with a more deeper, more sinister voice, and I don't think Liev Shriber would fit that.
I combat that because only because I actually when I was watching it, I felt Liev Shriber gave more of an innocence, or not an innocence, but more of a. I felt for Liev Schreiber's voice, I felt more for him in terms of sympathy.
Sadness.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of got to a conundrum at the end where I was kind of oh, I kind of feel bad for this guy, kind of like in Infinity War when I felt bad for, or when I kind of saw
Thanos.
what Thanos was getting at. It was the right level for me it was the right level of sympathy for me to feel for the character and feel like there was a more complex script going on, complex situation going on.
I get that. Do you ever watch the Daredevil show?
No.
Kingpin's on that, played by Vince D'Onofrio. I think Vince D'Onofrio's his version of Kingpin. I think he does exactly what you talked about. I think that's the perfect version of Kingpin.
You'd like him.
So you would have chosen him instead?
Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet.
I'd have to look into that. I don't know. Oh, did you give it a number?
I got 9.5. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that being said,
Feisty kids.
Anything to plug this week, Rob?
Except booty.
Always plug booty. Rate, review, subscribe, all that.
Cool.
Yes, please love us, Evan, Haroon. You got a plug?
Anything?
Each other.
No plugs?
Got nothing.
Cool.
All right, sweet Papa Evan.
So, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Brutally Honest Reviews, only on the Brutally Honest Network. Tune in next week. We'll get a new movie review for you as well, and by this time, we should probably also have a music review on Streaming for Gold available for you as well. And we are shooting our Office Comedy sketch show in February now. So we have locked in dates, locked in cast, locked in actors and crew, and we are going to go and shoot that for you soon, and that's going to be called Hotline. So keep an eye out for that coming soon, and tune in next week for other stuff. Have a good week.